Start with the weather. I'm joined now by meteorologist Simone Thomas. Simone, aside from the Hogs game, it was a pretty nice Saturday.
Yeah, we've been seeing mostly sunny skies, a few of those puffy cumulus clouds out there, but really nice fall-like conditions here at 6:30. We are tracking temperatures in the lower 80s generally across central Arkansas. 81 right now in the capital city. Pine Bluff, Arkadelphia checking in to 83 degrees right now, 84 in Hot Springs. As we continue through the evening, maybe a few of those passing clouds. We're going to see a calm wind overnight as temperatures fall to the upper 50s and lower 60s. Here's what you can expect across the state for your Sunday morning. A nice morning to sit out on the porch. I'll give you a preview to next week coming up in your 7-day outlook, so make sure you stick around.
All right, thanks, Simone. Tonight, this man on your screen, 20-year-old Jay Loghibbler, is behind bars after a deal involving guns, drugs, and cash turned deadly Friday night in Jacksonville. It happened near Beverly and Caroline. When officers got there, Loghibbler confessed to the shooting, saying he did so in self-defense. After investigating, they found that he had agreed to sell guns to the victim, Kivleonte Poole, in exchange for cash and drugs. But during that deal, Loghibbler was robbed at gunpoint from Poole and another man. As they ran off, Loghibbler fired back. He is now being charged with capital murder. Late last night, Governor Sanders gave an update on when people in the River Valley will vote to fill the vacant Senate seat left by the passing of Gary Stubblefield. And tonight, the Democratic Party of Arkansas is responding to those changes, saying she is deliberately delaying representation for thousands of Arkansans. In case you missed it, let's get you caught up on where things stand. The governor initially called for the votes to take place on the same day as the primary and general elections next year, but then last night changed the special general election date to June 9th instead of November. So far, 3 Republicans have filed to run. Meanwhile, Democrats say they have candidates ready to go, but haven't formally announced yet. And in a statement, party chair Marcus Jones says in part that Governor Sanders is purposefully prolonging the vote to fill the vacancy until after the legislative session to ensure there is one less voice opposing the Franklin County Prison. At the nation's capital, President Trump has announced he's sending federal troops to Portland, Oregon, a city he describes as war-ravaged. Tonight, Willie James Inman has more as the state says those troops are unwelcome.
President Trump on Saturday ordered the deployment of troops to Portland, Oregon, a city he called war-ravaged. In a post on Truth Social, the president said he's directed Secretary of War Pete Hegseth to provide all necessary troops to protect Portland and its ICE facilities. The president's post comes 3 days after a gunman opened fire on an ICE facility in Dallas, killing 1 and critically injuring 2 others, and after a series of anti-ICE protests in Portland. In a social media post responding to the president's announcement, Oregon Senator Ron Wyden said, quote, "My message to Donald Trump is this: we don't need you here. Stay the hell out of our city." The president's plan for Portland comes as Memphis, Tennessee prepares for a National Guard troop deployment on Monday as part of the president's crackdown on crime. For weeks, the Trump administration has been threatening to mobilize federal law enforcement agents to sanctuary cities or cities it deems crime-ridden.
So we're going to send the boots on the ground to the places that we know there's a problem. Address the biggest problems first, and that's your biggest cities, or sanctuary cities, whether it's New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Portland, Seattle. I mean, they're sanctuary cities, and we're going to flood the zone.
The White House insists the deployment of federal troops are a help, not a hindrance, with President Trump touting the D.C. takeover leading to increased arrest numbers and reduced violent crime. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Washington.
Since July, the Department of Homeland Security has been focused on protesters outside an ICE facility in Portland, saying for months that the site is under siege. And lawmakers have until late Tuesday to pass a spending bill or the country will face a government shutdown. But as leaders battle over funding, federal workers worry about possible layoffs. The House passed a temporary plan to fund the government, but it stalled in the Senate. And many Democrats are refusing to back down unless lawmakers extend Affordable Care Act subsides that lower the cost of health insurance for millions of Americans. Further complicating the shutdown, the White House Budget Office, as they have directed federal agencies to, quote, use this opportunity to prepare sweeping new layoffs. The last time the government shut down was in December of 2018, and it lasted 35 days. Well, libraries used to be quiet spots to get lost in a good book, but they've come a long way. That's why the Central Arkansas Library in Little Rock shut its doors 2 years ago for a major upgrade. And now it's back and better than ever. THV 11's Tamer Knight takes us inside the all-new space to check out what's changed.
Great views, community centered, and most importantly, of course, books. But we're also creating a vibe, and it's something for everyone.
Since 1997, the Central Arkansas Library System's main library has been anchored in history in the River Market District. And while it has served as a catalyst for the area, for many years it lacked resources.
We're listening to what our patrons and the citizens of Central Arkansas are wanting. Some of the things they mentioned to us was technology, places to meet.
2 years ago, the doors were shut and the sound of drills and heavy equipment were all you seen or heard. But in just a few days, the doors will reopen with all new resources and something for everyone.
We have increased our youth programming area about 69%, which is awesome. We also have some great meeting spaces. We're on the rooftop terrace, which is going to be an amazing feature if you want to grab your coffee down from Boulevard Bread. That's going to be on the first floor, and come up and enjoy it, a nice view, read your book, and hang out.
It will also feature cutting-edge technology.
Maker spaces, a production studio, podcasting studio. There's absolutely something for everyone, and if you have interest, all of the equipment and the services will be free.
With a $30 million price tag, the newly renovated space utilizes the same building with an all-new layout.
It was a little pricey, but I think that it's one of those things where the city supports us so much, and we're so thankful for that, to make it possible for us to have a renovation of this size. That was one of the things that I loved about the renovation, that we really didn't build out. We were just really smart about how we use the space inside.
So if you're looking for a good book to create content or host your next meeting venture,
they're looking to get back out and have spaces to do that, free spaces where they can interact with each other, share ideas, and also put together some of their ideas, whether it's across the street at the Rocket Lab, our entrepreneur hub, whether it's catching a classic film at the Robinson's Theater. There is something going on at Library Square for everybody.
In Little Rock, Tamer Knight, THV 11 News.
Thank you, Tamer. Cal's main library will open to the public with a party in Library Square on October 4th, and everyone is invited.